My internet's no longer poo-poo. It's no longer ass. I think it's gonna be pretty good. I fucking hope so. Online it says that my internet's supposed to be shit, but it's been working the last, like, 20 minutes. So I said, fuck it, and we're just gonna go. So hello there, and welcome. My name is Astral Thief, and today is gonna be my story time. This is gonna be a fun story time. This is one of, if not my favorite story. Actually, I change that every week because literally right after these, I stop streaming and then I will immediately think to myself, you know what? What would be a really good idea for a story for next week? This and this and that. And then throughout the week, I'll keep thinking of more things like, oh, I can do this one and that one and this and that one. And then every Tuesday, like fucking clockwork, I start up and I forget what I was gonna share. I forget all the stories that I had thought up. But this one's a good one. This one actually is a really good one. It really, a lot of people don't actually know this about me, but at one point, very recent, might I add, I wanted to be a lawyer. Yeah. It's true. I've wanted to for a while, actually. I've wanted to since I was a little kid. When I remember the conversation I had with my father when I was a small little lad. My father asked me, what do I want to be when I grow up? The classic question. The classic dad question. And I really didn't know anything. I have no idea. I didn't know a lot of occupations. I knew what my dad did. And he was a chef. He owned restaurants and he was a chef, but I remember the chef part. So I told him, I want to do what you do. I want to be a chef. He's like, nope. You're gonna be a lawyer. Okay, cool. And now, flash forward 13 years. I'm 17 now. Let me remember the specific events. It was December. We were planning on driving to Houston because my grandmother was in the hospital. I didn't drive my car. I drove my grandmother's car. I don't remember why. But essentially what I was doing the night before my family left to drive to Houston, Texas, I was driving around town saying bye to all my friends because I wasn't gonna see them for Christmas. All my high school friends. So I was driving to one friend's house, hang out with them for a couple hours, and drove to another friend's house, hang out with them a couple hours. It got so late, it got around like 11:30 that I was finally, decided to head home, drive home. On the highway, I'm driving, and I get pulled over, okay? Cool, I have no idea why. So this is the first time I ever got pulled over on the highway, okay? So I just stopped on the left side. I didn't pay any mind to it whatsoever. Also, side note, the officer only had his lights on. No sirens. That's really important. Proceeding on. The officer comes right up to my window, and before he says anything, he tells me, can I take my car and move it to the right side of the highway? I thought that was weird. I'm like, sure. I don't understand why it matters, but okay, fine. So get back, turn on the car again, drive over to the right side of the highway, stop over there, done. Okay, cool. He comes back to my car and he says, do you know how fast you were going? Like, yeah, I do. Okay, how fast were you going? I don't have to tell you. At this point, I already wanted to be a lawyer, so I got pretty good at dealing with law enforcement, and I knew my shit. If you've been a part of many of my other story times, any of the other stories that I've mentioned with law enforcement and everything, like, I knew what I was doing. I wasn't a fucking moron. I knew how to do it. I wasn't gonna tell him how fast I was going. He told me I was going 85 in a 65. I told him there's absolutely no fucking way. You are lying. I literally thought he was. And I thought I was right. My speedometer said 65. In my grandmother's car, my speedometer said 65. I don't know what was going on. Either he was just straight up lying to me or I had a faulty speedometer. Turns out it was the latter. And my grandmother's car, it was a Chevy, it was a 2000 something, just an SUV. It had a faulty speedometer. I didn't learn this until much later, a couple of years later, but that motherfucker had a faulty speedometer once you passed about 50 miles an hour. So on the highway, if it says you're going 65, you're actually going 85. I had no fucking clue. So I thought the officer was lying. I thought I was telling the truth. Turns out we were both in the wrong, but I digress. So the officer tells me to get out of the car. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He didn't say he wanted to search the vehicle, and I don't think he would have because I told him it was my grandmother's, so there's not going to be anything in the car, so it doesn't matter. So he leaves to his cop car. I'm just outside leaning up against the car, just waiting for this guy to finish his shit, and we all know it takes police officers 30 fucking minutes to do that entire process. So the officer finally comes back to me and he says, all right, I'm gonna give you a ticket. He tells me he's gonna give me a ticket for speeding, and I told him I'm gonna fight that. There's no fucking way I was not speeding. Then he told me he was gonna give me a ticket for parking on the left side of the highway. Not only did he tell me that that was illegal, that you couldn't do that, but he's straight up giving me a ticket for it. And here's the worst part. Parking on the left side of the highway cost 5 times more than the speeding. There's no fucking way. I'm totally taking this to court, which is exactly what I did. At 17 years of age, I took this fucking dick to court. I got so pissed. I saw that and I actually got so pissed. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why I got so pissed, okay? So if you don't know this about me, I am a terrible test taker. I'm an awful test taker. It took me 3 tries to get my permit license. My permit license. Not even my fucking real license. 3 attempts to get my permit. You know what that means? That means I read the DMV manual inside and out 3 fucking times. I knew that puppy like the back of my motherfucking hand. Not anywhere. It doesn't exist. You can fucking look it up. It doesn't say that you cannot park on the left side of the highway. The manual does specify that you have to park on the right side of the highway, but it doesn't say you can't park on the left side of the highway. Doesn't mean it still isn't illegal. But if the DMV manual doesn't specifically lay out every variable, every rule, everything in black and fucking white, the DMV manual tells you what you can and cannot do. In plain English, or whatever language that you know, it did not say that. So going into this court date, that's what I was gonna use. Flash forward now, okay? Flash forward about 5 months. My mother takes me to the courthouse in downtown in my hometown, and we go in, we sit down, and we're waiting because everybody gathers up. It was one of those what are they called? It was one of those like almost communal courtrooms. 5 other people on my side of the benches getting ready to plead their cases and yada yada yada. And then on the other end, you had all the fucking officers. I noticed, however, that my officer wasn't there. And the rule of thumb is if your officer doesn't show up for your court hearing, your case gets expunged. It gets thrown out the window. You don't have to worry about it. Awesome. So for the last like 5 minutes before the court started, before the judge came in, I was getting really excited because my cop still isn't there. I'm like, this is good. I don't have to worry about. I won't have to worry about this. The second the judge's assistant says, "All fucking rise," this dick walks right through the door, sits his ass down. All right, bet. That's the kind of day we're gonna have. Let's go. I'm about to cream you, my guy. I'm about to literally destroy you. I'm glad his ass showed up. I'm gonna tell you why. The very first case to go up to the stand was mine. I go up, officer goes up too. So I'm on the right side of the courtroom. He's on the left. He's to my left. The judge is right in front of us. The judge says, "Okay, introduce yourselves." So she asks the officer to introduce himself. And if you've never been to one of these, holy shit. This officer, I'm not even kidding you, took about 3.5 minutes to introduce himself. "My name is Officer Sergeant fucking Dickhead. I graduated this year. I have a bachelor's and yada 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 yada. My police badge number is 429075 exclamation point dash hyphen smiley face. This is my wife and my kids, and this is my dog, and my dog is a really nice dog, and we took him out to the lake, and then he died. And this is what I had for dinner, lunch, breakfast, fucking..." Oh my god, I'm not kidding, it's terrible. It's so fucking annoying. They literally take so long to introduce themselves. It makes no fucking sense. And you know what? It does. Actually, you know what? I'll take that. I'll redact that. It does make sense because I knew this guy was being an actual dickhead. I knew he was being an actual fucking asshole. I knew he was. You know why I knew that? Because the judge was, he was already getting on the judge's fucking nerves. I'll explain why in a second. All I say, Tiago Fernandez. I look at him. I had to. This guy, I already knew what kind of game he wanted to play, so I was ready to play ball. I was so fucking ready. The judge then reads off the violations. Okay, she starts with the first one, the speeding. So she says, all right, Mr. Fernandez, you were charged for excessive speeding. Then she reads the second one. She stops herself. She's like pulling over on the left side of the highway. Like it befuddled her. Like she staggered a little bit. She's like, what the fuck? And then I said, yes, Your Honor, I did both of those things. I shouldn't have said that in hindsight, but then this officer, we're literally just gonna call him Officer Dickhead. So Officer Dickhead interjects and says, Your Honor, I have footage of the accused speeding and and pulling over to the left side. And then I said, I already admitted to it. You don't have to show the footage. And Officer Dickhead goes, I'm gonna show it anyways. Cool, we're really doing this. All right, let's fucking go. So the officer goes up to the judge with his laptop and shows the judge my dumb ass getting pulled over to the left side of the highway. You see his lights. There's no audio, which is weird, but you see his lights. And I'm getting pulled over, and we're up on the judge's podium for on the whatever for like 5 minutes. Just watching this. And then we finally walk back to our podiums, and I repeat it again. I already admitted to it, so I don't know where the point was. It's totally unnecessary. This guy fucked with the wrong teenager. I'm not kidding you. We see the footage, cool, whatever. The judge asks me to plead my case, essentially, kind of explain my actions and my rationale. So this was my perfect opportunity, finally given to me. I sit back and I said, Your Honor, in the DMV manual, it does not state anywhere clearly in black and white, plain fucking English, that you cannot park on the left, you cannot get pulled over on the left side of the highway. You can't park on the left side of the highway. They might have changed it, I don't know, because I haven't fucking read the damn thing in 10 years. But when I read it in high school, I failed my permit test 3 times. I read that book 3 times. I knew it like the back of my fucking hand. So I eloquently, of course, and precisely spelled it out for the judge. I said, in the DMV manual, it doesn't say it. Therefore, if it doesn't say it, how in the fuck am I supposed to know not to do it? Thank you. That was my argument, and what a great argument it was. Oh, go on. Your Honor, please, this is such a debauchery. Yeah, no, I fucking nailed it. I wish I remembered exactly what I said, because I said it in such a way that really blew my own sock. I'm sounding like a fucking narcissistic douchebag, but honestly, at 17 years of age, I was able to stand my ground against a fucking veteran officer and a judge. Do my own shit. We didn't get a fucking lawyer. We didn't do that shit. Nah, I was my own lawyer. Fuck that. Save myself a couple $1,000s or some shit. But here's the problem too. Because of my situation, because I had a veteran police officer on my ass about this bullshit, the judge couldn't necessarily call me the champ. You know, she couldn't say, oh, you're the winner, 17-year-old. You win. She couldn't really do that. So, and the reason why I know this is because the judge very creatively came up with an excuse to drop that charge. This is going to sound like complete bullshit, but this is 100% true. This is 100% what happened. So the judge noted back on the footage that the police officer had shown her. And in the footage, you only see the lights. You don't hear a siren. So the judge asked Officer Dickhead why he didn't have his sirens on. I remember Officer Dickhead saying, oh, well, actually, you don't need the sirens if you just have the lights on. You don't need both of them. And the judge says, no, I'm pretty sure you need the sirens as well. I'm pretty sure you can't get away with not using sirens and just lights. And at that moment, I knew this judge is on my side. Holy cow, that is sick. Right there and then, when she was arguing with Officer Dickhead, I knew, all right, cool. Judge is on my side. Let's go, baby. She told the officer, all right, because you didn't have your sirens on in the act of pulling him over, I'm going to take that charge off. Bada boom, baby. Easy peasy lemon fuck. Get wrecked, dude. Get wrecked by a fucking 17-year-old. Get fucked. Here's the thing, too. That doesn't make any sense, right? Like that doesn't make, okay, the officer didn't have his sirens on, so we're just gonna take off that charge. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? Right! That doesn't make any sense. Which is why I've been led to believe, and I still believe thoroughly, 100%, that the judge couldn't just let a 17-year-old win, so she had to, you know, be creative. That's exactly what she did, right? Right. After that, I went up to the judge because you got to go up and I got to sign the papers and whatnot. And she gave me a wonderful compliment. She told me, you know what, you're really good at this. You should become a lawyer. And ever since then, I thought I really took that to heart because I wanted to be a lawyer, but I had no idea why. And then that happened, that court date and the series of events. Oh, I forgot to say. Because at the very beginning of the court case, when I admitted that I had done both things, that I had done them, I also admitted to the speeding. So I just kind of bit the bullet. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, whatever. It's like a $60 ticket. The ticket would have been $340. You believe that shit? Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, my ass. Get wrecked, nerd. Stupid cop.